Give me 90 minutes and I'll help you get everything out of your head. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, mentally cluttered, or like your brain just won't shut off, this video is for you. And today I'm gonna walk you through my 90-minute brain dump exercise. And this is a simple, proven way to clear your mind, reduce mental overload, and start thinking clearly again. And I promise you, this isn't about productivity hacks or doing more. And the best part is that it requires zero tech whatsoever. So let's level up, y'all. Okay, so here's the problem. Most people think that they're overwhelmed because they're bad at time management. And I'm here to tell you that's just not true. They're overwhelmed because they're carrying too much mentally. So it's unfinished tasks, conversations that you haven't had, ideas that you don't want to forget, responsibilities that just don't really have a clear next step or a place to go. And we're trying to store all of it inside of our head. And that, my friends, is the real problem. So I want to take a minute to just talk to you about how your brain actually works. And your brain is remarkable at creating ideas, solving problems, making connections. But what it's bad at is storage. Your brain is an incredible creative engine, but it's a horrible hard drive. And I want you to write this down. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding ideas. Psychologists call this the cognitive load, and this is the amount of mental effort that your brain is using at any given time. And when your cognitive load is too high, a few things happen. Number one, your focus drops. Two, your stress increases. Three, your creativity shuts down. And then four, everything feels urgent when it's not. Here's the thing. Your brain doesn't know the difference between, like, I got to take my dog to the groomer. Okay, I have a golden doodle. He's got to go to the groomer, like, soon. Your brain doesn't know the difference between that task and this big project, this big life decision that affects my future. Your brain has that in the same mental space, completely different weight, but same mental space. And so instead of helping you focus, what does your brain do? It interrupts you. And that's why a lot of times our best ideas, they show up late at night in the shower when you're trying to finally rest. And it's not because you're like lazy or undisciplined. It's because you're asking your brain to do something that it's not good at. It's the wrong tool for the job. And so this is really kind of this concept of like open loops. And so every unfinished task creates what psychologists call an open loop. And so your brain, it doesn't forget open loops. It keeps them active. Doesn't matter how small the task is. And so that's why you can be sitting with people that you really love. You're sitting down to dinner with your family and you still feel like you're mentally just somewhere else. And this cluttered mind creates reactive living, and reactive living eventually turns into reactive leadership. And here's the frustrating part, right? There's so much stuff out there about productivity. I call it like the modern industrial productivity complex. And they want to try to sell you on the latest hack, the planner, the app, some ridiculous system that we've all tried it, right? A billion times to optimize yourself. And eventually you find yourself in the same place. You're stuck, you're overwhelmed, and just scattered, right? Like setting up a perfect Notion board and like all of this different stuff. And it's just not the solution. And I'm here to tell you, listen, the solution, it's not a better planner, right? It's not trying harder. The solution, it's a big word here, but we're going to stick with it. The solution is externalization. Externalization. So here's all externalization means. It just means getting things out of your head and into a system that you can trust. Just getting things out of your head and into a system that you can trust. And studies show that when tasks are written down into a trusted system, your stress decreases. And here's the key, even before the task is completed. Why? Because your brain finally can breathe and it believes that it doesn't have to carry it anymore. It's like, wait, I can finally free up some of this hard drive space and do the things that I'm made to do. And it just happens just by getting it out of your head. And so clarity comes before productivity. So I'm going to teach you something today that was just a game changer for me. And this is called the brain dump method. And this is where the brain dump method comes in. And shout out to my friend Brandon Tracy. He showed me this and it has changed my world. And a brain dump is just like it sounds. It's a focused session where you capture everything that has your attention. And here's the key. You're not organizing it. You're not prioritizing it. You're not judging it yet. You're just getting it out of your head. Just empty the brain, get it into a trusted place. So you think of it like emptying your mental inbox. Oh my gosh, I love an inbox zero. Everybody when you are able to just get through all of your emails. And so that's really what this exercise is. And at first, it might actually take you more than 90 minutes. It could actually take you a full day or two even. But for most people, this takes about 90 minutes to get started. And then you can do this like every couple of weeks. And so the key here is that we're not trying to be rushed. We're not trying to optimize anything. We're just trying to be honest about the stuff that is occupying our attentions. What if I told you that your voice could be the most powerful asset in your business? And what better way to use your voice than starting a podcast? In fact, a comprehensive podcast strategy could be the missing link in your business's marketing mix. But how do you get started and how do you make sure that it actually works? That's where my team at Made by Varsity can help. Made by Varsity is a full-service podcast agency that helps brands and entrepreneurs establish trust, build connections, and grow their business. So whether you need coaching and consulting to get set up, or you need turnkey solutions to manage and market your show from week to week, we've got you covered. Just head over to madebyvarsity.com and book a call with me today. All right, back to the episode. First things first, the Brain Dump Method Guide is available to download in the description below. And after you do that, you're going to need just two more things. One, I want you to get a big stack of index cards, and then you just need a pen or a Sharpie. That's it. Now, you can get you some coffee. You know what I mean? Got to have some vibes. You know, maybe some lo-fi beats or whatever. But those are optional. Encouraged, but optional. But the main things that you need, index cards, I'd get a stack of like 300, right? And a pen and a Sharpie, which, by the way, I'm super intentional about doing this on paper. Not because paper is magical, but because there's something different about touching, right? Making tangible the things that have been living inside of your head. Because when you write it down one card at a time, you're not just thinking about the mental load that you're carrying. You're actually making it tangible and you're taking the first step to actually handling it. And that, my friends, is what changes things. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit down with some uninterrupted time and you're going to write down one thought per card or note. So you're not going to filter this. You're not trying to fix it, plan it. So the top one on my list is I got to book a flight out to Houston to go see a client. Not looking up flight prices yet, not actually doing it, just trying to get that thought outside of my head. Same thing. I was thinking about that client and I said, you know what? They have a course. It's a biblical masculinity course. Shout out to Dr. Manny Arango and Arma. I want to finish that biblical masculinity course. I've been thinking about it for some time. I need to, on my next drive or my next commute, just block out some time. I want to do that, right? And so I'm getting that out of my head. Another thing is like, I need to update my passport, okay? I've been thinking, I'm like, man, if I'm going to travel international, I got to make sure that that's all set. Not planning it, not executing on it yet, just getting the thought out of my head into an external place. And there's something about just seeing that stack of cards and it begins to build up. Even if it pulls on your attention just a little, it gets written down. Every single thought. So the guide inside of the description, again, is going to walk you through some like different categories. So work, family, health, finances, relationships. It's a pretty comprehensive list because I don't want you to like overthink or miss kind of some things. I want it to almost be like a guided, in a weird way, maybe even like kind of a meditative practice, right? Just these random ideas unfinished conversations, just kind of a guided practice to get everything out of your head. And when I've walked people through this before, what surprises people is how seemingly random this gets, because your brain does not separate the big things from the small things. It just holds them all. Like I said, I'm thinking about, all right, yeah, I got to get my dog to the groomer and I got to get a passport. I got to go follow up with a client. I've got a big consultancy coming up. It's just holding all of these different things, and your brain does not know the difference. And so it might be a traffic ticket or a toll that you need to pay versus a major work deadline that really affects your job or your business. It might be like a dentist appointment that you still need to schedule versus like a conversation, a crucial conversation that you need to have, but you don't want to. Maybe it's like something in your house that's been broken for so long that you've learned to live with it, and a decision that you're avoiding because it affects the next season of your life. Do you see that contrast? Like, it can be these small things versus really big things. It could be like an email that you've been meaning to reply to versus a project that you started months ago and you feel guilty every single time you think about it. It could be like an errand that you keep forgetting to run versus a promise that you made to somebody, your kids, your spouse that you care about, and you haven't followed up on it yet. You haven't followed through. And your brain is just carrying and cycling this time and time and time again. It could be something that you meant to research or look up online, maybe some recipes, versus this nagging thought that keeps showing up late at night when things finally get quiet. And that's what most people don't realize. Your brain gives the same attention to traffic tickets and to the things that actually shape your future. It gives equal weight to those things. It's no wonder why we can feel so overwhelmed. It's no wonder why our mind feels so full, right? But there's just something about writing it down that puts it aside into this low-tech but trustworthy system that makes all of the difference in the world. In fact, this very video, this lead magnet, this brain dump exercise that I've used for years has been sitting on an index card that I wrote 3 or 4 months ago, and baby, here we are executing, right? And I mean, just a few other things here. It says I got to send one of my contractors a gift card, right? His birthday's coming up. Just wanted to throw that in there. Hey, on top of the passport thing, hey, I want to make sure I get my clear and TSA pre-check, all that stuff updated, right? Looking into some virtual assistance type stuff. It's a website called Worksitter, right? Wrote this down, had a friend talk to me about that. Want to look at this. Yo, this is crazy. My kids go nuts at the library. It's like one of their favorite things to do. And they will check out, as I let them check out as many books as they want, right? And we had some late fees on libraries. Y'all, I had 40 library books that the library deemed lost, and it said I had a $600 fee. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay it. I didn't have to deal with it, right? Because all I had to do was return the books, and was sorry about that. The library cop was going to come and get me. But that was for about 12 hours, I was super stressed there. It was like cycling in my mind. So paying those library fees. I got here, hey, I need to circle back with a potential client, right? Working with another client, doing some CEO salary research, right? There's all of these different things. And do you see how all of those things kind of carry equal weight? Your brain does not know the difference. Couple more cards here, right? That just kind of fell into the family bucket, right? I'm wanting to take my kids on a ski trip. And so, looking at that, prices for all of that. Looking to book a venue for a friend event that we have coming up. Need to hire a babysitter for a night out here in a couple of weekends, right? It's all these different things that I'm thinking about in my brain, and the trick is to just download it, get it out of your brain into a trusted system, and then after a while, you keep going until your head gets quiet. And let me tell y'all something, it is that moment. That is the payoff. And what's crazy is you almost trick your brain into thinking that it's handled. And even though you've got this stack of overwhelming tasks, that seems like it's overwhelming tasks, the difference is It's in a tangible place where you can actually do something about it. And here's the result that most people feel when I walk them through this. They'll report things like, hey, I feel lighter. I feel tired, right? I mean, this could take you several 90-minute sessions. You feel lighter. You feel like you've been able to like get everything outside of your head. And maybe you even feel a little bit exposed, And the thing is all of those things, all those emotions are totally normal. And you're not just clearing tasks. What you're doing is you're calming your nervous system. And this is why people say that they feel like they can finally think again. Again, it's index cards and a pen. And after the brain dump, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Don't rush into organizing everything. Take a break and come back later, and then you can organize them into those categories and figure out how you can attack them one by one. But here's another thing you'll realize. A lot of this stuff you can delete. I looked through several cards. I'm like, that's not even relevant anymore, right? Like, I don't even need that anymore. You don't even need to do it. You can just go in the trash. It's handled. It's done. A big chunk of this stuff, you can delegate, right? You can hire somebody to do it. You can hire someone to take care of it. You can delegate. If you're in a nonprofit space, delegate it to a volunteer. The rest of it, you can prioritize. You can figure out, okay, what is the most important thing that needs to happen today? And you can begin calendaring some of these items. And from there, you can build the next habit. And it's something called the capture, where instead of doing the big brain dump here all at once, you begin capturing things and you write them down the moment that they show up so they stay out of your head. That's how you keep your head clear for the long term. But hey, that's another video for another day. Today is about getting one thing down, and that's getting everything outside of your head. Again, the brain dump method is available at the link in the description. And so now that it's your turn, get your guide, get your index cards. Come on, pour yourself a nice cup of coffee. And that's one more thing. Let me cancel coffee subscription. I got to take care of that. And boom, done. See y'all next time.
Hey fam, thanks so much for joining us on Making Varsity. If you enjoyed this week's content, make sure to tap that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. For more resources, make sure to check out the description below and feel free to drop us a comment. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.